Last week's job report beat expectations again, and we've got a Fed meeting coming up. I'm going to explain what this data means for the housing market and buyers and sellers next. So if you get some value out of this or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell for notifications. And if you want to schedule a call with our team about how to navigate this data and use it to make a sound real estate decision, you can do that with the link in the comments. The jobs report came in ahead of expectation. Again, 177,000 jobs were added in the month of April, above the 133,000 estimate from the Dow Jones. Although it's a little bit below where we were in March, still way above expectation. And unemployment held at 4.2%, meaning it's stable. Now, there's some other readings here I want to share. Discouraged workers and part-time workers are accounting for 7.8%. It's another unemployment measure, not as widely used. And you've got the participation in the labor force is up month over month, and it's at 62.6%. So we're seeing that the labor market is remaining strong here. I would caution about how these get revised later, like we see the Fed typically do. But these numbers are ahead of schedule. And we saw that the 10-year yield rose, that mortgage rates, they stayed stable right around 7% last week. In light of this news, we got a Fed meeting coming up this week, and the predictions show from the CME group, they do a prediction analysis of what's going to happen at these meetings. It's very clear that the Fed's going to be keeping rates where they are. There's not going to be a cut or hike on the horizon here. So what we know is that this is going to likely keep mortgage rates steady. Obviously, there's pressure from Washington and the White House specifically for rates to come down. I don't see the Fed doing that at this next meeting based on the predictions, the commentary, and the analysis that's already been done. And we're seeing that the labor market has been persistently strong in a good way. I like when people get jobs. This isn't good to see people lose jobs, for the record. So what we're seeing is that the stock market rallied on Friday after all this news came out. We are very fortunate that we have strong housing demand. So if you're a buyer or a seller, you want to be paying attention to this data. And it's clear to me, we're not going to see any drastic changes in the direction of the market. So if you're a seller right now, I see inventory as a real positive, meaning there's not a lot of competing inventory for home sellers. Prices are very healthy with year-over-year growth. We just talked about this in a previous episode about what's happened so far through the month of March. We'll be getting the April data pretty soon here. It usually comes out right around the middle of the month. And we're seeing that there's not this huge spike of inventory coming, and the demand is really there. So there's a window of time here to really maximize your price, especially in the months of May, June, and early July, before we see that historical summer slowdown, excluding those couple of COVID years where people go on vacation in July and August. So there's opportunity to get your home sold and do really well. School transition comes up over the summertime. Most schools are in session until the middle or third week of June. So there's a window of time here to take advantage. Now, for buyers, what I'm doing is this. I'm looking at homes with slightly elevated days on market, meaning more than 2 weeks. I'm realizing these rates are going to be where they are and they're not going to be changing. And I'm paying attention to price growth because price growth is not going the other way. So you could wait. You could see how all these trade wars and tariffs and all the issues that we're dealing with play out. The likely answer is, especially in our marketplace in the greater Philadelphia area and the Northeast, prices are going to be up again year over year. And if rates stay where they are, you're still going to be paying more down the line. Remember, you can renegotiate the rate. If rates do come down, you can't renegotiate the price. So if you've got a need to move and it's in your budget and the home hits 60 to 70% of your boxes, I'm heavily considering that, and that's what we're advising our clients to do. It's got to be right for you and your family first, and that goes for the home sellers as well. So this market's not going to be changing drastically. We know where it's going. Now that you have the clarity around that, and the Fed, again, not doing anything at this next meeting, I'd be shocked if something like that happens. Understand where the market is and make the best decision for you and your household.